Somebody got a nice bird sounding back there.
Oh, that's, should I mute it? Let me mute.
Oh no, they're beautiful.
We can't have the sound of
Open.
spring.
I love it.
Yeah, but we should be muted when the meeting starts, just to be safe.
Laura Lee, so I got the letter. They want to put it over until the 23rd.
Yes.
Okay.
Lori Lee, I like your hair.
I need a haircut. And a color.
Nice.
You see my tinsel. I have Christmas tinsel.
We're live.
Oh, okay. We humans too. I need a pedicure and a manicure. That's what I need.
Welcome to the regular Board of Trustee meeting for Tuesday, May 26, 2020. Is there a motion to open the meeting? Trustee Nell, second. Trustee Sullivan. All in favor? The meeting is now open. I think at this point we're missing Trustee Patino. Is that correct? Okay. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. So all rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay, I just would like to note that we're adding 2 items to the agenda. So item number 7 will be to acknowledge receipt of the plans dated May 18th, 2020 concerning the project known as Cedar Commons 43/45 Cedar Street project. And number 8, we were going to add to the agenda is to consider a motion to enter into an agreement with Mercy College regarding the use of their parking lot to host a drive-in movie. So those items will be added to the agenda. Before I start, I would just like to note the instructions for how to view the meeting. They have been posted online and on the village website and are attached to the agenda. The meeting is being streamed live on the village's YouTube website and via Zoom by either video or phone. The instructions for commenting on the public hearing or for courtesy of the floor are as follows. If you are participating via Zoom, either by phone or video, you can raise your hand and we will call our residents in the order in which they raise their hands. In order to raise your hand, you should click on the icon labeled participants and a column appears on the right-hand side. At the bottom of the window is the raise your hand button. For people calling in by phone, you could push *9 in order to raise your hand. We will let you know it is your turn by calling either your name or your phone number. So those are the instructions for viewing the meeting and for participating in the public hearing and courtesy of the floor. Before we start, I would like to take a moment of silence. Monday was Veterans Day, and I think it's appropriate if we take a moment of silence to honor those men and women that died on behalf of the country. So let's take 1 minute, please. Okay, thank you. To get to the public hearings, number 1 is adjournment of a public hearing for review of 100 Main Street. We adjourned that at the last meeting to this meeting. I will adjourn it to the next meeting, which I believe is June 9th, 2020 at 6:30. I think this is the last time I could adjourn this without having to remove it, correct? Okay,
You can, as long as you're adjourning to a date certain, but I know that there's a policy that if it's an inactive application for a series of months, then, it is customary for you to renotice it, which we can easily do.
okay, so we'll adjourn this till 6:30 on June 9th. For public hearing number 2, which is the continuation of a public hearing to consider the application of 115 Broadway / St. Cabrini to add a new parking lot on their property. We received a letter recently, about 10 minutes ago, from their attorney, Cuddy and Fetter, asking for the matter to be adjourned to the June 23rd, 2020 meeting. So in light of the applicant's request to adjourn this meeting, we will do so to the June 23rd, 2020 Board of Trustee meeting at 6:30. I believe we did receive the traffic parking consultant's report, and which we forwarded to the applicant. And Laura, do you want to just shed some light on that?
Sure. I've been coordinating the efforts with your village consultant. He did finalize his report, which was circulated to your board last week, and also to the public, along with the agenda. And that was published on Friday as a backup item to your agenda. So that report is available for the public to review. And also the applicant asked for some extra time in order to be able to respond to the information. And since it was made available on Friday to them, and in light of the holiday weekend, they thought it best to take their time to digest the information and to prepare a comprehensive response.
Okay, that's fair enough. So
Mr. Jacquemart said that he would be available for the adjourned hearing date as requested. So I will remind him that he can attend on your behalf at the next meeting, at the next adjourned hearing.
okay, right. So hearing has been adjourned. Next item is courtesy of the floor. Jennifer, do you see anybody who's wants courtesy of the floor?
We have 2 attendees, but nobody's hand is raised.
Give them 5 seconds to figure out how to raise their hand.
Oh, Patty, hold on one second.
Oh, I was not fast enough.
Go ahead, Patty. Oh. Patty?
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to say hello and thank you for having the meeting and for doing such good work. Thank you much.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to say, Jennifer?
No, Mayor, that was it.
Okay. So let's move to matters requiring action. That's agenda item number 1, and that's to consider a motion to approve audits number 3, 4, and 5 for May 2020 as recommended by the village treasurer. Is there a motion? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Sullivan. Any discussion? Jeff, you want to shed some light on that?
Yeah, it's just our normal claims audit. Nothing too exciting there, unless there's questions.
Okay, any questions? If not, all in favor? And that motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 2 is to consider a motion to award the contract for public-facing desk enclosures at the Dinosaur Public Library to the lowest bidder, Pacific Trans Global Inc., for an amount of $5,752 as recommended by the Library Board of Trustees. Charlene, you want to talk about this?
This is a totally COVID related purchase by the library in order that they may open up very soon. It is for the protection of the public and the protection of the employees. They had three, I believe, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, they had three estimates, and this was the best.
Well, is this eligible for FEMA reimbursement or not?
We don't know. I mean, hopefully, but we're gonna put the kitchen sink in FEMA stuff. And obviously, this is COVID related. Hopefully, they will see it the same way.
Charlene, this is unrelated, but can you just talk a little bit about what we're doing in Village Hall?
Sure. Because of the good work of mainly Elisa, and with a lot of help from Jen and all the department heads, we have a reopening plan. And that reopening plan will be put in effect somewhere in the first week of June. We have also put up some plexiglass in both the building department and in the administration. Friday, we will meet as a group. I'm coming in with a number of other people to put up all the signage that Lisa has penned in order that people may know the rules. The reopening plan, and as soon as we clear it with the unions, which will be Friday, I'll send it around to everybody. I mean, it's good for everybody to know. If you want it before, I could send it around before, but it may not be final. It just says, what are the benchmarks to open, and what are the requirements when you come in the office? We're taking temperature. We're requiring masks for both the employees and for those residents that come in. We are even buying a number of pens so that people don't have to touch pens a lot. There will be wipes, there will be disinfectant. Elisa, also we will stagger people so that it's not close quarters, because as you know, Village Hall is sort of tight. So I think that's our plan, and hopefully we'll.
And we did the panel, the building department put up plexiglass, and the village administrative
Yes.
offices have glass now.
Yes.
Right.
And Jen and Elisa took the contact tracer course, 5 hours over the Memorial Day weekend, because it was a rush. And they will be maybe called on by the county, but probably not. However, they are now totally knowledgeable in all things COVID. And actually, it's very useful for the Village Hall to know that there are two people who will know what to do in case that there are issues.
Thank you. So is there a motion to authorize this payment for the library? Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Nell. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, that passes unanimously. Action item number 3 is to consider a motion to authorize the village administrator to sign the 2019 to 2020 stormwater annual report. Charlene?
We are required by DEC to have this stormwater annual report done each year. We contract out, that's been done. And Jen and Steve sit down with our the people who, the consultants, and they take the measurements and they put together the stormwater plan, and we submit it. And we do that every year.
And the measurements, I'm assuming, are adequate, sufficient? Is there anything to be concerned or worried about?
No, there's nothing to be concerned about, which is a good thing.
Is there a motion? Trustee Patino, second trustee Taylor. Any discussion? All in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 4 is to consider a motion to approve the Dobbs-Hurry Climate Change Communications and Community Engagement Policy as submitted by the Sustainability report. It was, I thought, very well done, very informative. Clearly, people took a lot of time in preparing the report. Charlene, what is required of us if we want to move forward with this?
It's just a passage of the report. We have pretty much everything that we're doing already. I think Elisa can talk to the sustainability efforts, and also Larry can talk to the efforts by the sustainability team. As usual, they have been outstanding. And in truth, what they've been doing recently is the food shortages and the food pantries. They've been working very hard on those, and it's a very important issue. And I think that has risen to the top right now, as it should be.
Trustee Taylor, you have anything to add?
Sure. This is part of the requirements to be certified, as a bronze or higher, village, to be recognized. That I guess New York State went back and said there were all these actions, there was nothing that was tying it all together and demonstrating the village's commitment, and that's the genesis of this report. Charlene, I think you're quite familiar with the contents of this. The one thing that I would say is, Lori Lee, you should look at it to make sure that just the way that it's written and the phrasing is consistent with, local and state law, that we're not committing to anything that or stating anything that is out of bounds from that point of view. But I would agree. I think the task force did a tremendous job, and I think a number of folks on village staff were also, Charlene, you would know, who were quite involved in helping put this together. It was a lot of work, but it's a nice document, a very comprehensive one.
Yes. It's Liz, Elisa, and Jen.
So Lori Lee, if you haven't seen this document, you should probably make sure that you read it to be sure that it's all consistent with the framework we operate under.
I'm happy to take a look. Yeah, if you want to adopt it, just subject to, I guess it really would just be grammatical and review additions, that's all.
Trustee Taylor, I have not, I've read it, and there is no commitment by us to do anything specific.
Yeah, I didn't see a problem with it, but
Me
I
neither.
just think, as a matter of course, if we're going to adopt the document, we want to make sure that there's not some obscure municipal code that we'd be, challenging or whatever.
Okay, so why don't we amend the motion that we're going to accept this pending, subject to review by the village attorney. I think we've already made the motion, if I'm correct. So all in favor? Okay, that
I don't
passes.
think we made the motion, did we?
I thought we did.
Anyone?
I can make the motion again if you like.
Because I don't know who did it, if we did it.
I thought, okay, so is there a motion to accept the Sustainability Task Force's report, subject to review by the village attorney? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Nell? Any discussion?
I just wanted to be the one to be in there, so thanks, everyone. Oh, God.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Passes unanimously. Action item number 5 is a stipulation with the PBA for extension of health insurance benefits. I know the stipulation is attached to the packet that we have. And Charlene, do you want to talk about that, please?
Sure. I talk about both the PBA and the Teamsters.
Okay.
We were in negotiation with both parties. We were very, very near completion. However, it was not completed. There were still some issues. So there is no contract at this point. I mean, obviously, you know, things sort of continue as into, you know, the pay. However, the health insurance was in the health benefits was of some concern to both Teamsters and PBA. They're on the front line. There was no intent, I know, by the board to curtail those. I don't even know if we could have, but there was no intent on the board, from my understanding, to curtail those benefits. However, in order to put their minds at ease, because they do go out and face whatever they face every day, I suggested that we do an extension of the health insurance benefits. The labor attorney penned this. Both Teamsters and PBA received it. I believe that everyone has the intention of signing it, and I would request that the board pass those two extensions.
Okay. So we're faced with the number one before us right now is the PBA extension. So as I've indicated, the stipulation is in our packet. Charlene has explained it. Is there a motion? Trustee Garazi, second, Deputy Mayor Casal. Any further discussion? All in favor? And that passes unanimously. Action item number 6 is the same stipulation with the Teamsters. Again, that is part of our packet, has been reviewed by the attorney, and Charlene has explained it. Is there a motion to adopt this? Trustee Patino, second, Trustee Taylor. Any further discussion? All in favor? And that passes unanimously.
Mr. Mayor, according to our regulations also, if you pass the Teamsters, you also pass it for the administrative staff. So it continues with them, so we don't need a separate stipulation for that.
Okay. I don't even think technically we needed a stipulation for the PBA or the.
I don't think so either, but
Once the
that's what they
contract
wanted.
go forward after they expire, but that's fine. We better be safe than sorry. So now we're with new items, item number 7, which is to acknowledge, acknowledging receipt of the plans that I believe are dated May 18th, 2020 concerning the project known as Cedar Commons, which is 43-45 Cedar Street. And I'm going to set a public hearing for June 9th, 2020 at 6:30, which I believe is, we have a public hearing for 100 Main and then only this one. So that's fine. Everybody should have received that, all that information. I think we had it in a share file. So if you haven't gotten it, if you have any questions, please contact Laura Lee for that. Okay. Action item number 8, which is to consider a motion to enter into an agreement with Mercy College regarding the use of their parking lot to host drive-in movies, which is great news. Charlene, you want to talk about it?
Mute myself. Okay, now I'm unmuted. Yes, I would. Thank you. This is really great news. We're going to have, I believe we're going to have the first drive-in on June 9th. This is, again, the department head really working hard. Kendra was amazing with this, and Steve and Jen. What they did was they scoped out areas of where we could possibly have the drive-in movies. And the place that they chose, which would be the most reasonable and the easiest to contain, was Mercy College. We contacted Mercy. They have been wonderful. And they, this afternoon, approved the area and the contract. Laura Lee was very good. She got that in record time. Kendra put together rules and regulations. Elisa is in conversation with Kendra and Jen as to how this is going to be done. Steve is right there. Ed has been very helpful in it. So it was really a team effort, and we still have a lot of logistics to do, but I think it's going to be a great success, and it's something that is really needed. And, you know, this is really the department heads looking at a situation, trying to resolve issues, and also thinking outside, a little outside the box. So there you have it. It is not going to cost us anything. We are going to fully indemnify Mercy, as we should. It will be our personnel and our work, but that is right. And I think it was very generous of Mercy.
Okay. I don't think I made a motion. So is there a motion to enter this agreement?
You actually need a motion to adopt the resolution. The resolution was prepared, and so just for the minutes, you should say a motion to adopt the resolution.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution between the Village of Dobbs Ferry and the Mercy College to enter into a memorandum of agreement, license for use of Mercy parking area? Is there a motion? Trustee DeRozzi, second. Deputy Mayor Casal, any further discussion?
So this is the thing we're approving is just the use of the parking lot. It's not how the actual event, like any spending for the movies or for where the film is going to be projected on or anything like that.
Well,
Just-
we have the
oh, right, we already have that
screen, and and DPW will build a stand for it, so it'll be further up. And the rest of the things, the movies is in the regular recreation budget that we always have, so that's not going to be any different.
Gotcha.
And the personnel, there will be overtime, but otherwise we can't have it. So, and I don't think that that's an issue. I mean, there is enough money in the recreation. We have talked to, obviously, the chief was very much involved in it. And I'm sorry I didn't mention him before, but you know, you needed all these okays. Jeff gave the blessing. So we're ready to go, and it is nothing that is an oddity.
Charlene, we are using that projector and a screen that we use for the movie nights at the river with the youth services council, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
great.
And then
Great.
there's some kind of machine that will that you can get it over a radio channel, and Kendra is dealing with that. It's not a very expensive item.
We're going to limit the number of people who enter, is that correct?
Excuse me?
We're going
Thank
to
you.
limit the number of people, we're going to limit the number of people who come into the parking lot.
Absolutely. And those logistics we're going to figure out, Elisa and Jen and Kendra and myself, and we'll meet and figure out how we get that to be. In fact, now Elisa wants to have names so we can contact trace in case anything happens.
I presume that we couldn't have cars
Okay.
in immediately
further
adjacent
discussion?
spaces, so you guys are gonna have to space the cars out. Is that part of the
Absolutely,
planning?
yep.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? And that passes unanimously. Okay, that leaves us with the minutes. Does anyone have any questions or issues with the minutes? Okay, is there a motion to adopt the minutes of May 12th, 2020? Trustee Patino, second. Trustee Sullivan. Any discussion? Having heard none, all in favor? Okay, the minutes pass. Okay, does anybody have any announcements or anything they'd like to bring up?
I just want to say, one, thank you to Kendra and the rec department and everyone else that did the drive-in movies. I think coming up with creative ideas to keep us as a community is great. And a special thank you to Kendra. And I don't know who else did it, so I'm sure there's other people to thank too, but she came down on Memorial Day to deliver all the foods that Sam donated. And I think that's really important and should be recognized. She is a real treasure and gift to this village, and we should be grateful that she's on our team.
You're right, very well said, you're right. I should just say that for Memorial Day we taped it on Friday. We kept socially distant. I want to thank the school for providing personnel to record that. And I also believe this, and sorry, I don't remember his name, Kevin, I think his name is, right?
Kevin, right.
Kevin, who put the film together, did a great job. It looks very well done. I know you guys reached out to, State Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, to Mary Jane Simsky, and to Tom Abenanti, who recorded statements. So I thought it was very well done. And I want to thank everyone for their participation in that. And I think it's got a pretty good number of views considering, so it's good news. I don't think we had any real issues with Waterfront Park over the weekend. I think the weather had a lot to do with that. But from what I understand, everyone was socially distant and there really wasn't any major problems at Waterfront Park. So let's hope that message is getting through and that people are following the social distancing rules. So to add, we can't have a 31-minute meeting, so someone's got to talk.
Everybody make sure your cars are locked because people are going through and unlocking cars and taking stuff out.
Really? I didn't hear that. That's horrible. Is that happening in one particular neighborhood or just all over?
It happened on my block. Not my car this time though.
It's happening all over, even up here. We're having that same problem. Kids are bored.
Just bored.
It was at 5:30 in the morning.
Well, I do have to say that the police department
Anything further?
is doing a very nice job at the waterfront. The times that I have been down there, they are definitely screening every single person. So they've been doing so great. And they just coaching people, and people are very kind and very nice and following the instructions of the police department. So kudos to the guys for the job that they've been doing.
Okay, great. I agree. They're doing a great job.
Mr. Mayor, the tax bills have gone out in the mail. People should see those soon. We collect for the month of June without any penalties.
Okay, that's good to know. Anything else? Having heard nothing further, I'm going to take a motion to adjourn the Board of Trustee meeting. Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Casal, second. Trustee DeRozzi, all in favor? Okay, we're going to adjourn to advice of council meeting. So everyone should have gotten the link for that. And so please click on that link